So we're all back again. We have
Scott, hi.
LJ,
Rich.
and me. Hello, Emma. If you didn't already know. So we wanted to film a vlog today on revisiting roles because this is the second time I've played Juliet, and I found a lot of interesting discoveries, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and the kind of whole thing of coming back to a part that you've already played before. So that's the part I've already played before. What parts are you playing now that you've already played before?
Romeo, this has been my 5th or 6th
Wow.
time playing Romeo. So, yeah.
he's an old haggard Warner.
Yes, yes.
He's not, that sounds so mean, I'm sorry.
Not so young anymore.
I would be kind of revisiting Lady Macbeth, as I've studied her quite a bit, drama school and such like, actually playing her this time.
Cool.
Yeah, I think this is the 5th time I'm doing Macbeth, I think.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay. You guys are old hats.
I know.
Aren't you?
yeah.
Just and all like you've been so many characters in Macbeth as well. You kind of
Yes,
played
that's
all
true.
of them
Yeah.
apart from Lady Macbeth, probably.
Yeah,
You've
And Lady
been-
I
Macbeth.
haven't done
Yes.
that one. Or that
No,
one.
she's played Lady Macduff's son.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, but I found it really. I was really excited when I found out I was gonna play Juliet again, because when I finished playing her before, as soon as I finished, I realised I should have said lines in different ways, and I understood new meaning behind them. So that's why I was so excited to come back and play it again. So what do you think you have learned from playing the parts multiple times, but also this time specifically? Have you discovered new things? Anything as you've got older that you've discovered?
Well, me with Lady Macbeth, I remember, like, first, obviously, she's one of the great characters every woman wants to play. I was always told that my natural casting is more of a Lady Macbeth. I was never going to be a Juliet. I was always going to be more of a Lady Macbeth, and that was very exciting to be told that. And so it's very easy for her to be seen as the muhaha kind of evil
Like
witch,
villain.
and just the villain that just wants everything and goes crazy at the end and kills herself. But I think now, being older and really looking at what she says, and also the relationship she has with Macbeth, and I've seen it played many different ways by many different actors that are different ages. And one thing I realised is that actually she's not, there's a lot of grief there with a loss of a child and what seems to be the inability to have a child, and sort of seeing her lose her husband as he slowly descends into this man that is not the husband that she knew, and albeit possibly from her own doing, kind of just slowly fractures her. It's not, it's just...
How did you feel about her before?
It was just that, yeah, she wants everything and she's going to use Macbeth to get it. And it's like, yes, I will be queen. And yeah, it's kind of...
So you sort of
that's
dug
all
a bit
she wanted,
deeper, like
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, why did Shakespeare have her going a bit like crazy with it all at the end? And it's because it's all, she is human. That's the thing. I forgot that she was human.
Yeah, and I think that's something that that comes with age, and something I did always see Juliet as human, but I feel so much more empathy for all of the other characters in the play than I did when I played her before. And I think that's something in general. I just feel a lot more empathetic towards people now I'm a few years older, and I actually think that's helped a lot more with playing the character, because I understand the other characters' motives a lot more than I used to. So I think the way that I think it's influenced the way that I'm playing her now, and I think I also see Juliet as less of as I don't see her as young as I used to see her. I used to see her as, and again, I think it was a bit surface as well. Like, I think I used to play her slightly more young girl and a bit stroppy and a bit this, and now I see a lot more to her, that actually she's not just a stroppy teenager or whatever. She's actually going through a great deal, and she's you know, she's a product of her circumstances and her family relationships and all of those things. So I think empathy massively comes into
It's
playing
peeling
parts
back
again.
that character onion, especially
Yeah.
when you're a young actor and you. We've all been there, I'm sure, where we all think we're the hot shots and we know the characters better than anyone else that's ever played them.
Yeah.
But it is life experience, and like I said, peeling back that onion and then realising, well, hang on, there is actually more to this person than I originally thought. And then even coming back to the character multiple times, as both you and I have, Rich, is coming back each time and going, I never thought of it that way before.
Yeah.
And just finding that even if it's a small thing, that new little sort of like nugget that makes you go, and then it may change your entire outlook on the character.
I'm guessing different casts with you.
I was just,
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say,
Different,
for me,
yeah.
it's not a solitary journey
No.
Yes.
of discovery. It relies on the people around you and the people you interact with
Absolutely.
and the discussions that you have,
Mm.
as well
Yeah.
as the relationships that you form on and off stage. So, you know, in each play, in each version of in each production, the director will have a certain vision as
Yeah.
to what their backstory is, or you know, where it's set, which will determine that sort of Macbeth or that sort of Romeo, or Juliet or Lady Macbeth. You know, so that sheds a little bit of light on something, and then it's also about what your colleagues give to you as well. So if they're giving something to you and you're like, okay, I've never
It's
never been done like
I've
that
not
before.
heard that line played
Okay,
like
well
that
then you're
before.
going to play it
Yeah.
differently if you're you know, listening
Absolutely.
to what's going on.
I think-
It's exciting to have a line or a scene played differently to
Mm.
how you've had it played before, because it brings new life to it.
I think what I found most interesting with Lady Macbeth is our director wanted Macbeth to kind of be a bit accusatory and saying to Lady Macbeth, like, well, you brought this on yourself, that I'm doing what you're doing now, and him withdrawing from her. And that just changed my Lady Macbeth hugely, because she was lost without him, and she saw him withdrawing and leaving her, which left her incredibly vulnerable. Whereas, you know, everyone thinks that, you know, she's completely pulling the
Solid.
strings and completely solid, and she's not. So yeah, you change one tiny thing and the whole thing changes completely.
Yeah, and I think every time you come back to a piece of text or you rehearse something, I think you do generally find something new. And being with, and it's quite cool to be in a play with people who've played the parts before and who know the text really well. That's quite exciting, because you're already sitting at a level that you perhaps weren't sitting at before. Like, you already have that base level of knowledge. And we talked about that, didn't we? And we all quickly formed quite a good trust. So I think that we were able to play around with it. And I also think that comes with age, is that you perhaps trust people a little. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, you just
You
sort of,
don't have inhibitions.
you're
do
not
you,
as
much,
inhibited
yeah.
perhaps. Yeah, and I think that is really, really helpful. The other thing that I was thinking about, I don't know how you guys feel about this, when I was a bit younger, I was more aware of how I looked when I was performing, and I don't care about that now.
Don't mind being ugly on
Which is-
stage.
That would be a big piece of advice. Don't care about how you're looking or whatever. Like, I don't mind if I'm covered in mascara and my hair is in my mouth, or because that's what it would be like in the scene. You know, she would be really upset. She'd be like this, so, you know. And I think that's, once you let that go, you actually, you know,
It's very
becomes
free.
it's very free.
I do
and
think
much
you have
more realistic.
to you have to be willing to embrace change as well.
Absolutely.
Because if you think, oh, I've done this role before, I know what I'm doing, and you don't do anything different, then that's not of any benefit to you, the production, or the people around you, or
you
your
have to
audience.
want to discover new things about
So
the
yeah,
character.
so I think it's really important that you are open to learning and discovering something else, and being attuned to what's being thrown at you as well, so that you can, you know, adapt and react accordingly, and not just through learnt behaviour.
Yeah, absolutely. Be open to new ways of playing the character. Be open to receiving the lines being read differently. So if reading a line differently, be open to playing something different back. If that makes sense. But yeah, I think it's really exciting to get to revisit parts, and I think there's a lot to be learned from it. And the other thing we mentioned was, what did you say about the actor that
there's
about coming to a part when
I
you're older?
can't remember who it was, but I know it was a very famous female actress. So famous, I can't remember her name. But she said, someone said, "Oh, but you know, you're 30, you couldn't play Juliet." She's like, "Yes, I could. I was 13 once, so I know what it's like to be 13. You asked me to play an 80-year-old, no, I couldn't, because I've never been 80. So we all have that. Yeah, we all have that, and it is experience. It's life experience of remembering what it's those horrible years of being a teenager, and those wonderful years of being in your young 20s, something, and you know, yeah, we all have that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, you can play parts at any age. We'll have an 80-year-old Juliet next time. But yeah, I definitely think life experience plays a huge part, and I think it's I would also say, don't worry if you're playing a younger character and you are, I don't know, whatever age you think I might be too old for it, because actually all your life experience can be used and put into that character. And also, yeah, and that would help you not to think about how you look as well. But yeah, lots of things to be learned. Anything else you think is interesting about visiting roles? Any advice for people who are coming back to a new role? Anything else?
I'd say
An old role, sorry.
the number one thing, especially, it's kind of leading on from what you were saying, Rich. Wipe the slate clean. Don't go into it thinking you already know the character, because, like we said, it's going to be a brand new director, a brand new production with a brand new cast. So trying to force your version or your preconceived ideas of a character onto a new production is only going to be detrimental to you and to your fellow castmates and to your director.
Square peg, round hole.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Keep the lines in your head though.
Yes. Keep the lines.
Don't do new
that
lines.
helps.
But in all other respects, try to come at it as a blank slate and create something new.
And yeah, enjoy that. You will remember those lines a lot easier than you think. They'll all come back to
They
you, so
do
you'll
come
be able
back,
to play around with it so quickly and enjoy it. And yeah, you'll have those exciting moments where you're just like, oh, this line, now I used to hate this line, so I didn't understand, and now I understand what this means.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's, yeah, yeah, so.
Well,
Just,
awesome. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, comment in the comments below. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Scott and LJ and Rich.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.